Hi, time for Vocabulary Power 1, Chapter 9. Our first word is compete. Athletes from all over the world compete at the Olympic Games. Each year, thousands of students compete to study at that university, but less than 1/4 get in. So compete is try to do better than others. Okay, so in this picture, you might recognize this comes from one of the Rocky movies. Anyway, they're competing to see who can run the fastest. If you're planning on studying in university, you have to compete to get in. You can't just go because you want to. You have to get really high marks. So if you want to become a doctor, you're competing with all the other students who want to become a doctor. You're trying to do better than those students, so they pick you to come to the university instead of the other students. Okay, next is dismiss. Don't dismiss the idea of vacations in space. It will be possible someday. I grew angry when my friends dismissed my suggestion so quickly. So, do you think dismiss is to not explain clearly, to not understand, or to not want to consider? C, not want to consider. So if you say to your friends, hey, why don't we go skiing this weekend? And they're like, no, that's a stupid idea, right? They don't even want to think about it. They don't want to discuss it. Just, no. Okay, next is divide. The teacher asked the class to divide into groups of 4. My roommate and I divided the room so we each had the same amount of space for our beds, desks, bookcases, and other furniture. So is divide to put into parts, to count, or to agree? A, put into parts. Now this comes from math. So here in this picture, we see that there are 10 birds and we want to divide them into 2 groups. So 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So there are 5 birds in each group. If there are 10 students in the class and I say divide into 2 groups, that means there will be 5 students in each group. Okay, next is field. The field of wheat looked like an ocean of gold under the summer sun. After school, I saw Kyle practicing with some friends on the soccer field. So is a field a farm, an area of land, or a large building? B, an area of land. Now, here's a field right here. This is a football field or soccer field. So you play sports on a field on this piece of land. Here's another kind of field here. You often see this as you're, driving to Calgary or, whatever you're driving along the highway, and you see a farmer's field. Now, it could be a field of corn. In this case, it's a field of wheat. Next, we have include. The price of the hotel room included breakfast. Why don't you include me in your conversation? I want to say something too. So is include to be or make a part of something, to invite or be invited to an event, or to not have something. A, to be or make a part of something. So when you go to a hotel, if it says breakfast is included, that means you don't have to pay extra for it. If you paid $100 to stay in the room, that $100 also pays for your breakfast. It includes breakfast. You'll probably see a sign like this. The price of all taxable items include sales tax. So that means if the item says $10, you just pay $10. The tax is included. It's part of the price. If the tax is not included though, that means that you pay $10 plus the tax, which means you have to pay $10.50. Okay. Next is industry. In the 1800s, industry came to the northern United States while the South continued farming. The growth of industry brings many jobs and not just in factories. So industry, is it a kind of machine, a group of office buildings, or the making of things to be sold? The making of things to be sold. So industry looks like this, right? You see factories. This here is a factory here. And I don't know what it's making. Cars, maybe, maybe lawnmowers, I don't know. But it makes something. So if you go outside of town, you'll see buildings that look like this. These are called factories, right? And those are in the industrial area of town. You won't see this in the middle of town where the houses are. Industry is in the industrial area. Okay, next is opinion. What's your opinion of the new company president? Do you like her? I don't always share my history teacher's opinions, but he welcomes my thoughts. Opinion, is it an explanation, your ideas or beliefs, or the truth? Your ideas or beliefs. So I might say, you know what? Popeyes has the best chicken in town. That's what I think. It's my opinion. But my husband might say, no, no, no. KFC is a lot better, right? That's his opinion. It's what he thinks, right? I might watch a movie and think, oh, that movie's awesome. That's my opinion. But you might watch that movie and go, oh, that movie's boring. So that's your opinion. Okay, next is produce. Asian countries produce most of the world's rice. The sunny state of Florida is well known for producing oranges. So produce, is it to eat, to grow, or to sell? B, to grow. You've probably noticed we have a lot of greenhouses around here, especially in Redcliffe, and they produce or grow tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Okay. Next is train. In my first week at the restaurant, they'll train me to take customers' orders. Rochelle is training to be a makeup artist. She wants to work in Hollywood. So train, is it to teach or learn a set of skills, to finish a job or make someone do this, or to work hard or make someone do this? A, to teach or learn a set of skills. So if you get a job at a restaurant, usually they will train you. They will show you what you're supposed to do. They will teach you how to do the job. Sometimes you need to go to school to train to learn how to do the job. So if you want to be a welder or a mechanic, you have to train. You go to school and you train, or somebody teaches you how to do the job. Actually, you know what? I got a picture here. These two are just learning how to do a job, and this man here, we can't see him very well, but he's training these two new employees. He's showing them how to operate this machine. Okay, and last is treat. Tommy treats some of his classmates very badly. His teachers have asked his parents to talk to him about being nicer to others. Penelope enjoys treating her dog very well. She sometimes cooks dinner for it. So treat, is it to help others, to act in some way toward others, or to think better of some people than of others? B, to act in some way towards others. Now this can be good or bad. If Jerry always yells at his wife and says, oh, you're so fat and stupid, he doesn't treat her well. But if he buys her flowers and takes her out for dinner and says, "Oh, darling, you look so beautiful today," then he does treat her well. So, is the person mean or nice? How do they treat other people? All right, let's pronounce these. First, we have compete, dismiss, divide, field, include, industry, opinion, produce, train, treat. Okay, now we've got a couple other definitions to look at still on page 74. So we already know a field is an area of land to play sports like football or soccer, or it can be a field to, like on a farm, a farmer's field where maybe they have cows, or maybe they grow wheat or corn. Okay, industry is the making of goods, especially in factories. Now remember this here, this thing is a factory, okay? But it's also a type of business or service that produces things. So a restaurant isn't industry. I don't work in industry, right? I teach, right? But when you see factories like that build things, that's industry. Produce is to grow or make something naturally. So when you grow your own vegetables, right, that's you produce them. Or to control the preparation of a play or movie and then show it to people. Whenever you watch a movie, you probably don't pay attention to this, but when you see the words and it'll show who stars in the movie, it'll also say who produced the movie. Like somebody had to actually work to make that movie and produce it so it could go to the movie theater and you could watch it. Okay. And finally, on page 75, we always compete for something. We want something, right? So if I compete for a place in the university, that's what I want, okay? If somebody dismisses something as impossible, serious, or crazy, right? If I say, you know what? I think that aliens came to Earth and, spread COVID around. Somebody might just go, "Oh, you're crazy," right? That's stupid, right? So they're not even going to consider my idea. It's too crazy. Divide something between. So if I have a sandwich, right, and I cut it into 2 pieces and I eat half and I give the other half to you, I divided the sandwich between you and me. Okay. Or divide something into pieces. So if I have a cake and I cut it into 5 pieces that are all the same size, I've divided it into 5 equal pieces. Okay. Now, quite often, if we're going to state an opinion, we might say, well, in my opinion, Earl's is the best restaurant to go if you want a good meal. Or I might say, well, in my husband's opinion, the Tigers are the best hockey team in all of Alberta. Okay? And quite often we'll say, one person treats another person like something. So for instance, I might say, my husband treats me like a queen, right? So he treats me well. However, if he doesn't treat me well, I might say, my husband treats me like dirt. And that's it. So good luck with this lesson. Talk to you again soon.